right, welcome back to Press Turn, a video game podcast where the news just keeps coming and it don't stop. It literally don't stop. I was hoping we could have a normal just discussion episode, but I guess not cuz Nintendo was just like, "Oh shoot, yeah, we need to release news too, I guess." So, yeah, we'll go ahead and
Bleh.
do that. Um sorry, no more news on Breath of the Wild 2. Uh People on Breath of the Wild 2 watch. Make sure everyone's okay out there. But unfortunately, uh, which is weird to say considering I'm also a fan of this franchise, one other thing did get uh, confirmed, but we'll get into that in a bit. Um, Jonathan, buddy, how you doing? How's your week?
My week's going pretty good. Thanks for asking, Sam. I'm currently taking it easy. Work is on a slowdown, so we got a nice 2 week break. So that means the house and myself get to get some much needed attention. I've been cleaning it up, preparing our spare room for uh, taking care of kids in the future. We want to foster and adopt, and we'll be getting those classes next Saturday.
Okay.
So excited about that. Hoping to get a whole group of kids so that we can finally start playing multiplayer games. And that's the only reason why.
Nice.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, of course.
Oh,
Um,
oh, wait, right. Yeah, no, you're a totally responsible adult. You wouldn't ever do something so selfish, right?
right. I'm not Michael Scott. Um, let's see. I'm gonna bring up my list to see what I've been up to lately.
Oh shoot, actually, yeah, I should do that too.
Um, watch the Nintendo Direct, which we'll be talking about later, so I'll just leave that as an aside. I so the Switch launched Pokemon Snap 64 on their emulator. So we gave that a try. We played it all the way through. Liked it a whole lot. Was really again amazed that the 64 Nintendo game had such depth to it for such an older game.
Mm,
Um, caught all the Pokemon pretty much, I guess, in just an afternoon. So even though it was a big game, it was still a pretty short game overall. I liked it. Um, it was nice to see where the new Pokemon step came from because I've now played them backwards. So now that I have both of them, I can definitely see where the sequel came from, see where it improved, and see where they definitely brought a lot of differences, or made everything a little a lot more succinct. So not everything could be tackled by just throwing a pester ball at it. You had to think a little more and do a little bit more, which I guess made the game a little harder. But I I only noticed a slight difference myself personally. But certainly things that required leading a Pokemon via apples to a location for the new game, so much harder. Old game, so much easier. I did enjoy that.
mm.
Um, and then big news is I finally got to play and finish the new Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge game. And oh man, what a ride. That was fantastic. That felt like a pure dopamine trip the whole way through. Once I picked it up, I couldn't put it down. Finished it in one go and was just like, "Oh, this guy! I remember this boss!" And oh my lord, this boss is so much fun. And the levels and traps were fun, and the enemies were all had differences and variety, and every single one of them just pulled from the comics or the show. And um, the soundtrack. Oh my gosh, the soundtrack was so good. Have you like played it, Sam? Guys, I'm trying to see if I can like just like throw spoilers in there or not.
Oh, I mean, I'm not really gonna care because I mean it's a beat 'em up, but no, I only like touched it a little bit because I just wanted to get the feel of it. Unfortunately, my time has been spent on a couple other things instead. But go
Okay,
ahead.
well you can wait your turn and then I can have I can have
You
mine.
asked.
Nobody cares. Um, I'm kidding. I completely care. So anyway, yeah. So the final boss was just fighting the Statue of Liberty with boxing gloves, and I thought that was the
Oh my.
funniest crap I've ever seen. And then right after that, it was a fight against Super Shredder, and it was really fun.
Okay.
Um, but then I got really sad because, of course, I knew uh one of the achievements was going to be, get all of the challenges. So I was like, okay, I can do that. But then the last challenge for that boss is don't get hit by Super Shredder at all. And I,
Yeah,
I
that ain't
mourned,
happening.
I mourned my thumbs. I did. I was like, no, I'll probably just play it until I've got my $20-$30 worth. So I did. I plugged into the multiplayer and played with a bunch of strangers, and that was another layer of fun too. More chaos because they add more enemies as there's more players on screen, but total more fun because you don't have a way to talk to the other people. Everything is pretty much laid out. If you get knocked out, you have a chance to save a person and give them a little bit of health. If not, they lose a life. But I mean, like every other beat 'em up, the game tells you to go. So really, there's no reason to talk. But still, like someone may be in a corner, like, and they're not moving, and you find a way to talk to them by like making your character go jump jump or like smack smack. Like, hey, what are you doing? And it's I think that's really fun. The little games that come up inside the bigger game is always what keeps me or makes a game stand out for me.
Mm.
So I'm really glad I got to grab hold of that multiplayer for Ninja Turtles because I wanted the game to be good and I wanted the game to be a 100%. And as far as I'm concerned, it is. But I'm sure when I go across my review, I'll have to give it like a 9 or something. I don't know. I may just
Whoa,
say,
a 9.
forget it. I may just
It's
go
pretty harsh.
9.5. Uh, but I don't know. Uh, I don't know. The game's fantastic. Um, Speaking of another fantastic game, I downloaded the demo for Live Alive last night
Yeah.
and played it for a little bit.
Yeah,
And
I download that too, but I haven't had a chance yet. So,
mm, oh, it's well, so far I think I only played like 20 minutes myself, and I played I think they call it the Twilight of the Edo period or something. It's the ninja level. And just the graphics again blew me away like always.
oh yeah,
And
actually I was going to ask do cuz they mentioned when it was first announced that they were going to be changing a number of scenes. Like is it more noticeable like in combat or something like that, or
hmm.
because it's been a while since I've seen the trailer, so I forget exactly what got changed. I imagine it was something kind of like what happened with the Pixel remasters. Uh, like I know a lot of key cutscenes from FF6 got changed to
Mhm.
look kind of more uh, like what happened in Octopath Traveler, but like I don't know, staged a bit better or choreographed a bit better, I guess.
I got you. Actually, yes.
Okay.
Because they put you down into the level, um, and you see the building on the hill towering in the distance, and then you see the other layers. And as you walk, it also comes towards you and gradually grows. And I was like, wait a minute, they definitely didn't do this in the SNES. How in the world did this look in the beginning? and I was trying to imagine what this might have looked like on the top down version. But yeah, no, that scene was definitely the most noticeable, and um, I think instead of the top down version, it's more of that almost top down where everything's in the distance that you can see coming.
Oh yeah, so like the angled perspective
Angled
that they do
perspective.
for Octopath, right?
Yes,
Okay.
precisely.
All right.
So yeah, that's completely, I think, changed the way you can see things in the game. Um, and of course, they don't um they blur. Yeah, they blur the distance, so that just adds a whole nother layer to how you feel the game out, and it's just beautiful in my opinion.
Mm. Uh so I guess for combat, does it differ at all from Final Fantasy in any way? Or is it almost the same?
Um, yeah, it's got an active time battle meter, so it
Okay.
plays on that. But you can move around in between turns, so you can get closer or get away from your opponent.
Oh, you
But
can reposition.
they can also move. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you're on like a grid, so
Oh,
you play like
it's
cat and mouse while you're waiting for your turn.
uh oh my goodness. I feel like there was at least one Final Fantasy game during that time that also did that too, but I can't remember. But I don't know. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Just a random thought.
I'm with you there. I want to say someone else has probably did it just because it probably exists, but it's the first time I've seen it. In fact, if I didn't like accidentally knock the stick while I was waiting for my turn, I wouldn't have known you can move.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
and then I died shortly after.
I
But
see.
they have an autosave system, so I picked up right where I died. Um, so that's obviously different too. And it was and I really liked what I played so far.
Okay.
I think if I'm not mistaken, maybe things changed and I don't know. Um I know back in that chapter of the game, you could jump up into the rafters of the building, and maybe I'm just not there yet. Um, but I thought you could do that and not play with this sheet that makes you invisible, like wherever you are. Um, so I'll have to go back and see if that's totally different. But if it is, it's completely different.
Mm.
You can walk right up to enemies and make yourself invisible, and and they don't know where you're at all. It's not like a line of sight problem like in these other stealth games. You go
Yeah.
stealth, you're stealth, and that helps you walk through the front door if you can just figure out, just wait for them to move a little left to the left, and you can make that straight line through the door. Um, so I was having fun with that, going the stealthy route last night because they also have that option to go invisible and sneak your way through, or just tear everybody down and get level ups and find equipment.
Okay. Yeah. I mean like it's still just kind of crazy to me that we're basically getting kind of like one of the hidden gems of JRPGs in this day and age,
Yes,
honestly. Cuz like
I agree.
what was it? I remember just, you know, in high school like having discovered the power of the internet and stuff like that and just being like, okay, well, what are some good JRPGs? Because I've never heard of a JRPG, and like, is there more stuff like this? And then seeing stuff like Tactics Ogre, which was before my time, pretty
Hmm.
much, and then and then seeing some odd ones like Live Alive. I'm still not sure about that the pronunciation of that title? I guess it is. I want to say Live Alive. That's why. But um anyway, yeah, so like Live Alive was one of those that came up and just being like, well, okay, that sounds interesting. How do I play it? Oh, well, you can't, because not only is it not available in North America, but it wasn't translated either. And it was just basically like, well, I guess I can't until I learned about ROM hacking later, but that's another story. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, just like, I mean, I'm cool with it, right? If um, like I know there's a bunch of Japanese only games that are still just kind of sitting around, and if Square Enix is finally just going like, you know what, we got time, maybe we can spare a little money from our big expensive Final Fantasy projects and put it towards something else, I'm all for it. Um like uh I would rather see more unknown games kind of get brought to the forefront rather than
Hmm.
just kind of like leave them in the past. And like especially for Japanese companies, this is especially bad because Japanese companies are notoriously known for burning papers essentially.
Mm.
So like any previous project that gets completed, they'll basically just throw it in the trash immediately after. So I'm really glad that like someone with a functioning brain there uh is just going like, maybe I should hold on to this just in case. Um like, and as we move further into the future, data preservation is just becoming more and more important nowadays. And to people who say otherwise, shut up. Data preservation is literally how uh, like all those websites monitor your usage and literally market to you specifically. So that's how important it is. Um, and if we can't use it for any of our purposes, then maybe turn that back around on Facebook or something. Anyway, it's a completely different story. But
Oh.
yeah, my point being, uh, data preservation can also be used for archiving as well, which is extremely important. It's it's one of the reasons why, like despite the great issues with pirating and emulation, I feel like in terms of entertainment and media, uh, that's really important. Like I can kind of understand some sentiments about killing off the past, but at the same time, um, there's a reason why we should preserve that data, no matter how useless it might be, or no matter how negative of an image it may bring. Um, of course, that's just me personally, but I also think I'm right, so I don't care. Uh, anyway, continue. Oh, is that it? Or
Oh, yeah, we're good. Short list. Um, yeah, that's all I've been able to accrue since we last spoke.
okay, okay. So,
So, over to you, Sam.
yeah. Okay. So, uh, big big week for Sam. Last week. As two big titles for me dropped. Of course, the Capcom Fighting Collection, as well as DNF Duel. Very excited. Lots of fun so
Woohoo.
far. I said last week, but this actually came out yesterday. But um, before I get into that, are you familiar with Crime Site at all? Okay.
No.
Yeah. So Crime Site was a game that released much early on, like a few months back in April, by Konami. And I guess the best way to describe it is um hmm am I crazy, or is there like is there like a real life game you can play called like Assassin or something? Is that how it works? Or am I
Where
just thinking of
everyone,
Mafia?
you might be thinking of Mafia,
Okay,
but
so
I think Assassin might be the same thing.
okay, so Crime Site is kind of like Mafia. It's very much an Among Us like, I suppose. Um, but it's gonna be hard to explain because uh, Crime Site does it in a very like how should I put this? A very convoluted way. Um,
Hmm.
so think Clue, but um, you have like uh maybe like 6 people at a time that can move around and stuff, but they can only move a number of spaces. Um, and one of those 6 is the killer, and another one of those 6 is the target. And it's uh, basically like there are 2 roles: the mastermind and the detective. The mastermind has to make sure the killer eliminates the target, and the detective has to deduce who's the target and the killer and prevent it from happening within a
Hmm.
certain number of turns. Um, and uh, it's very weird. I guess it's tough to play by yourself. By yourself, honestly. Like I haven't really played a full game yet. I only played a little bit of it through the tutorial and some training missions that it
Hmm.
gave me. It's pretty interesting, but I think the biggest problem is that um, when you're playing as the detective, things are kind of stacked against you. But and I guess like the reasoning behind that is that there can only be one mastermind, where there can be multiple detectives
Hmm.
because uh I don't know how it works with multiple people, but I'm assuming that you can only move 3 people at a time, and the mastermind can only move 2. However, the mastermind can take over um, one uh, one unit that one of the detectives decides to take. So basically, it's like you won't know until the moves happen, which of your units will be taken over. But you basically have to move, assuming that that could happen at any point.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know. Actually, I probably should have played it a bit more on the mastermind side, but I don't know like how much the mastermind is able to see, like where the targets get to move and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I have to imagine they probably get to see that though. But yeah, it does feel like uh it's heavily favored in the mastermind's control, just because like yeah, they can only move 2 units, but then they can take over one of the detectives every turn, and
Hmm.
then like they they know who the target is, of course, so they can kind of plan around that as well. And then like once it gets to the point where it gets deduced who's the target and who's the killer, The mastermind basically gets like a one final turn to try to make it happen, and if there isn't another unit witnessing the potential crime, then it can't be stopped. Uh, which is another one of the conditions for for the detectives to fulfill.
Hmm.
Um, so it does seem very hard in the detectives uh, side to really make that happen, and I've been seeing reviews about that on the Steam page. It's very interesting concept though.
It is.
They had like a free week for people to try it out last week, but it doesn't seem like many people played it, unfortunately. Um,
Hmm.
so I don't know. I feel like they were able if they were able to update it somehow, maybe they could have gotten something going, but it doesn't seem to have enjoyed um that much traffic during the free week. It right now it sits at a 74 on Metacritic, which isn't too bad, but it's not super high considering
Yeah.
it's a free to or sorry, not free to play. Uh considering it's a social game. I guess that's another problem too, is like for a social game like this, the fact that there's like, you can play Among Us for free on mobile. Um and I think on Steam, yeah, on Steam and console, I think you can buy it for like $5, $4 right now. Uh, Even if you don't like Among Us, it's a much lower risk cost uh,
Yeah.
compared to Crime Site, where it's like it had,
$20.
yeah, it has these immaculate portraits. I recognize the art style, but I forget the name of the artist, but it looks very good. A lot of
Really does.
yeah, a lot of detail went into it, and this is kind of Konami's thing where they try to make uh, multiplayer games like this. Just doesn't seem to have caught on quite as much though. Interesting though. I probably would be down to give it another try. If only I could like find a group of people to play with it consistently, maybe it'd be easier to get the hang of. It's kind of like playing a board game, but then it's like it's an online game too, so that could be problematic too.
Yeah.
I found it interesting that one of its marketing points was that you can play it with people across the world without needing without worrying about the language barrier. But I kind of questioned that, but who's to say? Uh,
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah,
I had to take a look at it myself to see that, but I mean, look from the looks of it, it looks really fun.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe if I could interest some people from GUG, we could get a night going, and I'll stream it or record it or something. We'll see. No one really seemed interested in it when I shared it in the chat though. So, uh,
Huh.
but yeah, that was Crime Site. Um, and then uh, I don't know how to talk about this, but I guess I will just share this article with you where I found this game. Uh, it's a game called Fury Fight, and it was originally released as a um, Chinese only Android emulated arcade game. So so let me say that again. A Chinese only Android emulated arcade game. Meaning that this was a region only or region exclusive uh, Android-based tablet device that was marketed as part of a arcade console in China. Fury Fight is a beat 'em up that released on what was called the laptop arcade player, uh, which not only included Fury Fight, but a number of other similar titles that was designed specifically for the laptop arcade player, as well as some MAME emulated ROMs for arcade games that may or may not be allowed on such a thing, but it's China, so the the limitations on that are a bit more free. Okay, so I found this just by happenstance. I believe by uh I believe it was by YouTube channel Mike Leviscu, who uh I believe I mentioned him one time before, but he is an avid indie fighting game uh evangelist, I guess. Uh and this came across my desk and I was like, hmm, it looks kind of cheap, but it looks really cool. So maybe I'll check it out.
Mhm.
It was tied to a fighting game called Rupture Void, and Fury Fight is the beat 'em up version of Rupture Void, actually.
Mhm.
And then I did some digging around, and this article goes into the whole process that one random user went into it. Oh wait, actually, okay. So quick correction: it wasn't Mike Lefescu. It was actually uh, a different user at Gal Winquote. Actually, apologies, my bad, man. Still much love to you. But yeah, super weird. But then yeah, it just goes into it, and basically, this game was not easy for this guy to crack the code, basically, and try to get it working in other emulation. Because surprisingly, Android apps cannot all be emulated in BlueStacks as easily as you think.
Mm.
Concerning this is Chinese only, it's possible that uh, it's working on some proprietary OS, which is definitely a bit of a hurdle to get through. Android emulation kind of being, uh, for lack of a better word, a cesspool of compatibility errors and such.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, this guy struggled for quite a while, but he did manage to get it working. Uh, and by pure happenstance, due to Gal Winquote, basically radio blasting this game on his social, the developers caught wind of it and then decided, hey, you know what? I will try to get the game working on PC and uh, sell it on Steam. And it is now on Steam, available to purchase. So
That is awesome. Do you have a
yeah,
link to it?
yeah, I bought it as soon as it became available. Just one second here. Yeah, and yeah, like it's made in the Unity engine. Oh, 652. That's not bad. Um, yeah, it's 650 right now, so you may want to hop on that.
Ooh.
Uh, so right now it's in early access. The developer has said that they will try to update it accordingly. It's a little jank, I will admit, uh, but I imagine that this game was kind of built on the cheap. Uh, it very much looks like that too. Like even though it's on the Unity engine, there's quite a lot of tweening going on there too. But I really dig the art style. as well. Some hilarious English translation going on in the story too, of course. But yeah, pretty fun. Just wanted to shout it out. Nothing much else other than to say uh give it a shot if you're a fan of beat 'em ups. I know you just finished Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, so maybe you're in the market for another beat 'em up. And
Actually, after that and realizing that they also did Streets of Rage 4, same company, sorry,
yeah,
nothing related. Yeah, I realized I do like beat 'em ups.
yeah.
Not good at them, but I still like them.
It's okay. Um
What's it called again?
Fury Fight. I put the link. I put the link in our uh
Oh, it didn't make a ding noise.
oh,
Okay,
okay.
there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that cuz I just need your mic audio exclusively. Uh but yeah. So now we get to what I mainly focused on, which was DNF Duel actually, but I did dabble in a bit of Capcom Fighting Collection for a bit. Uh Pretty great, honestly. I mean like for the price that it's at and what it contains, it may not seem that great to some casual fans, but for the avid fighting game fan, it's kind of a miracle that we got this, honestly.
Do tell.
Yeah, so not only do we get a working puzzle fighter game, not only do we get the fighting game spin-off of Puzzle Fighter, not only do we get one of the craziest fighting games that Capcom has ever released, an RPG leveling style fighting game that is Red Earth or Warzard as it's known in Japan. We get or sorry, also, not only do we also get a working version of Cyberbots, we get every single version of Darkstalkers available, including the Japanese only Darkstalkers 3, quote unquote, and its other updated versions. Um, the updates uh, are very minute in terms of changes in between versions, but for Dark Fighters fan or Dark Fighters Darkstalkers fans, um, they all they all have their own preference. I know Darkstalkers 2 is probably one of the most popular ones, but some people enjoy Darkstalkers 1. But of course, competitively, I think the most up to the last released versions of Darkstalkers 2 that were Japan only were the most competitively used for quite a
Hmm.
while. Um, and oh yes, and also uh, online play for most of the games, including Puzzle Fighter, I believe. Uh, Actually, you know what? I'm gonna. I don't normally do this because I'm afraid what's gonna happen to the recording if I do, but I'm gonna start up fighting game collection real quick, and I need to be really quick and mute the audio so it doesn't pick up. Okay. And I believe there is online play for. Yeah, wow. I thought it wasn't, but there is in fact online play for every single one of these games. Incredible,
Wow.
honestly. Oh yeah, Hyper Street Fighter 2 is also on here, but that's whatever. Who cares? Um, yeah, and what's crazy too is that oh my goodness, there's one button specials option for this too. What the heck? That's crazy. But there's also cross region as well. I haven't had a chance to try out the online yet either. Hopefully it's not too bad. I haven't seen any news on Twitter yet blowing it up at all, going like Capcom Fighting Collections online sucks or anything like that. So far so good. Um, the museum, lots of fun stuff there too. A lot of concept art and promotional art for that as well. There's a music gallery for it too, which is also nice. Um, and from what I've seen, like when it comes to Capcom's like collections,
Hmm.
they always do like a very fun set of. Oh no, what just happened? Okay, sorry about that. It looks like it did actually freeze um the Discord window, so apologies for that in advance. But yeah, like yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. Sorry. Uh but yeah, just a whole labor of love in this collection. So much fun. The fact that you basically get to play a near arcade perfect version of all these games, available now and online as well. It's it's honestly like uh yeah. Again, I'm sorry I keep saying it, but it's honestly a miracle that we're getting this collection now. Not necessarily meaning that any new Darkstalkers games are confirmed, which is unfortunate, but hopefully this means that Capcom will continue to do more stuff like this. Maybe do an expansion pack for this collection in the near future. Probably not though. I think that's going to be exclusively for their I believe it's called the arcade stadium instead.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, super cool. Super excited. And uh, yeah, and I think with the confirmation of one of the other things that got announced earlier this week, we might be seeing more stuff like this in the future, which is great. On to though DNF Duel, the fighting game spinoff of Dungeon Fighter Online by Korean developer Neopol. Um, but DNF Duel is actually uh, surprisingly not as much of a um, Arc System Works joint as some people might believe. It is actually headed entirely mostly by Aiding. Aiding, if you're not familiar with the company, has uh, is mainly a fighting game studio.
Hmm.
Um, a quick Google search. Um, they are they have been in charge of the Common Writer fighting games. I I don't think any of those have ever actually come out in America, as far as I know. Yeah, none of them have come out there yet. But they were involved with Marvel vs. Capcom 3,
Hmm.
as well as Tatsunoko versus Capcom, which I think only came out for the Wii actually. Uh, but another fun fighting game too. Oh, they also did Bloody Roar. That's cool. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah, this game is kind of nuts. I'm not sure if you've seen any footage at all of this, Jonathan. Are you familiar with DNF Duel at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I mean, I think I saw it during one of the showcases.
Okay. So, So yeah, this is ultimately an aiding fighting game. So for people who are unfamiliar, I'll just try to uh, boil this down as much as possible. Basically, it means you're gonna get a lot of nonsense on your screen. Uh, Aiding loves to go ham on their fighting games and will constantly and will basically make every character um like pretty problematic in a good way. Like um I know from a lot of the from the beta tests, a couple characters were a huge problem. The Inquisitor being one of them, who just throws out just a ginormous flaming wheel out that takes up like half of the screen almost. If you get caught in that, you're basically in block stun the entire time and you won't be able to escape. Um, in my first match online, I literally came across an Inquisitor and it infuriated me so much, but I took it back. I did take it back and I didn't use Inquisitor, so I'm super happy about that. But yeah, it's just um, like every character is gonna feel cheap in some way, and that's just kind of how it is. Actually,
Hmm.
it's not gonna feel super balanced, but it it kind of is in its own way. Um, I wouldn't say it's outright cheap, but it will feel like an uphill struggle against certain characters. In my second match, I basically got shut down entirely by someone who played Vanguard, um, or no, was it Vanguard? Uh, no, it was Ghostblade, and uh, I pretty much felt like I had no answer aside from like just trying to keep them away. I
Hmm.
was playing Kunoichi, um, who kind of works as a mid range fighter and tries and is more of like a tricky character where like my whole game plan is I want you to block one way so then I can hit you in another way
Hmm.
that you can't block instead. Um, and how do I? Okay, so um, so how it plays is that DNF Duel um has like a light and a heavy attack button, and then there's a command. There's like a command normal button where it's like they're kind of like unique moves, but um, like you can kind of throw them out, kind of like your uh, regular light and heavy attacks, I guess.
Hmm.
So it's sort of like a unique normal move that each character has, and they do different things. Um, and it works kind of like in Smash Bros, where you have one for neutral and you have one for every direction and in the air. None that goes like uh up unique command or anything like that. It's only done in the
Hmm.
air. And then you have your special moves, and your special moves they're dependent on how much meter you have, and meter is a very important requirement in this game. It does regenerate, but you can exhaust it too quickly if you use too much if you use too many special moves. But there are some unique mechanics surrounding it where depending on how much life you've lost, you can sacrifice recoverable health to get that much meter back. So it's a bit of a gamble to use that resource. But in turn, you get to use more special moves instead, uh, which can be important depending on the game plan of certain characters, or if you need to like turn the match around in your favor.
Mhm.
Uh, the natural flow of the matches, I would say, is that um, once you have a lot of meter, you're basically just going to use up as much of it as possible into one combo, and just try to get off as much damage as possible. Because once you get going, it can start to feel like you just steamroll your opponent.
Mhm.
Uh, but at the same time, it's kind of like it really is just like a your turn, my turn kind of situation. Where it's like, okay, I kind of have to decide if I want to take my turn now or take it later, depending on how much priority I get on my approach
Mhm.
against my opponent. So in my case, it's like, so for example, in my first match with Inquisitor, I pretty much got uh, wiped by the Inquisitor because the Inquisitor has a lot of long-reaching moves that hit pretty hard, but
Mhm.
I know I have some fairly safe moves for spacing from long range, and I have the Kunoichi has a kunai attack that they can just do on as a command normal. So in the second match, I started using that a lot more to kind of keep them spaced out,
Mhm.
and pretty much just like let them try to make a move and just punish them uh, for going for that move. Uh, so my strategy was a lot of wait for them to whiff and then punish them on that. So then I could get my fire setups and uh, get this fire sigil, which is a unique passive for the Kunaichi, where if you hit them with one of her special attacks, a fire sigil will be placed on the opponent, and that's like a time bomb that procs after a certain amount of time for some extra
Mhm.
damage. So so basically after that, it was just sort of like making sure to keep that going. I'm not super good with my combos. I'm trying to fix that now, but uh, that's how I had to play that fight because I know it's like Inquisitor uh Inquisitor steamrolls once she gets going, but pretty much once she loses meter, she doesn't have a lot of options in approach until she gets enough meter back. So I knew
Mhm.
I was pretty safe as long as I kept my distance and just chipped away at their health and just kind of kept pressure on that way um, because basically I would just need them to make a mistake by just pressuring them from long range. It's not quite as good as someone like the gunslinger, but in that scenario, I felt like I could safely um, make those decisions from long range, uh,
Mhm.
as long as I could just limit their approach towards me. So yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like depending on the character, um, you have to understand the limitations of your character because there are some characters where it's just gonna feel like you can't do anything at all, but you're just gonna have to like kind of figure out the gaps in between those characters, um, and just kind of come up with your own game plan. Um,
Mhm.
that being said, I do think since it's an since it's an aiding game, there probably are some characters that straight up um, have have just a lot more bad matchups in comparison to some other characters. Uh, it is that type of game where some characters are just gonna be stronger than most, and there are other characters uh, that are gonna be weaker than most too. And it's gonna feel a lot more strongly with this type of game where like canceling, special canceling is much more common in this type of game compared
Mhm.
to most other fighting games where You just kind of have to figure out what target combos work better too. Um, uh, yeah, that's pretty much it. I went through the story mode for the Kunoichi, just because I wanted to unlock the final character, which was Lost Warrior. Lost Warrior is pretty sick. He has like a special passive that caught where like if he hits you with a special 5 times, your opponent just then freezes in time once they get the fifth hit, and
Mhm.
then you can just and then they basically just become a statue, pretty much. So you can just let loose a free combo on them for tons of damage. It's pretty scary actually, but it's a very fun concept. I like it a lot. Aiding fighting games are probably some of my most favorite fighting games to play. Just because they happen to be a lot looser with um, with their mechanics compared to most other fighting games, which try to be more technical and um, more more set play based. Set play being like you have to play the character this specific way, and there might be some there might be some room for like a little bit of flexibility, but not nearly as much as with like uh aiding fighting games where it's kind of like uh characters have their like really strong combos, but there's still some but they still have some tools that everyone basically just gets,
Mhm.
regardless of what type of character they are, which is nice. I feel like yeah, I think I counted like maybe oh no wait no I guess I thought there were more characters that had like a that had command grab. Um, like there were more characters with a command grab than I thought, but it was definitely more than I expected. Because I thought Grappler was going to be the only one to have a command grab, but then I saw it on like a different character. I forget which one though. Um, oh yeah, it's the female gunner. I forget what she's called. I think it's like engineer or something. But yeah, pretty crazy game, all things considered. But it's been a lot of fun so far. I've
Mhm.
really been enjoying my time with it. I really want to learn the ins and outs of Kunoichi a lot. And it's not just because she's hot, but she's she's also a ninja. Um, and ninjas are cool. Shut up. I'm not down bad. I'm not a simp. But
But
um, another character I want to learn is Swiftmaster, who has like a fun spacing mechanic with wind. Um,
mhm.
and he seems a lot of fun too. So yeah.
I was um I was looking at a YouTuber just playing just now.
Mhm.
The Ghostblade guy looks pretty cool.
Yeah, Ghostblade. Yeah, Ghostblade. I had a lot of trouble with just because like it was really hard to figure out like a good a good approach. Just because like Ghostblade has a lot of moves that allow him to move around really quickly. Like he basically has he has a command normal that pretty much allows him to teleport to where I his stand basically like swap places with it.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest problem is just like trying to figure out okay, like I think I need to be more aggressive, but the problem is like um I don't have a strong approach to get that going every time. Um and it's pretty hard to get the drop on him too because the Kunoichi does have a command teleport, but Ghostblade has a couple moves that uh for his command normals that can actually hit above and behind him too. So
Hmm.
it's really tough. Ghostblade does seem one of the stronger characters to play as. But the game just came out, and I'm sure there's already some pretty crazy stuff with other characters. I mean, I did mention the Inquisitor, who's basically just a lockdown queen. Um, and there's also the Striker, who is just like, if you just want to button mash, that's your character, because she basically just gets to do whatever she wants. Um, and like even without special moves, you really don't have to worry about it that much, because she has so many good command normals just in general too.
Hmm.
Like you could probably just rub your face against the buttons and still come out with something that looks pretty decent looking as a combo. Um,
Hmm.
Grappler is pretty fun too, actually. Like looks really cool, but he also has a lot of fun grabs that can kind of just get you out of nowhere if you're not careful. He has a deceptive one that actually like draws you into his range if you're not careful.
Hmm.
Like that one I can imagine getting a lot of people who just aren't used to grapplers working that way. It's pretty much a cheat button for grappler characters. Uh, but yeah, uh, yeah, I don't know. Do you have any questions at all about it?
um. Uh. Is it already out?
Yeah, it just came out yesterday.
Cool.
Yeah,
And I'm guessing it's on Steam.
yeah, it's on Steam. I believe there's actually crossplay for it too, so you can play with people on console, if I remember
Nice,
correctly.
nice. I feel like I might get an itching for this after I've finished up Blaze Blue, but that'll be a while.
Yeah,
Because my fighting bone is like 1%. It's a really small bone.
don't say it like that. That's weird. um, but yeah, I will say, in terms of content, it is very light. Honestly, there isn't a whole lot to go for, which for even a $50 game, uh, there's not really a lot. So, uh, it's like you have to be a big fan of if you're either a fan of Dungeon Fighter Online or of aiding fighting games specifically. I would not recommend getting this at full price right now. Like, even if you're just even if you're just curious, I would say it might be worth your time to just wait for a sale instead.
Yeah.
Um, like I would say, oh, I really don't want to do this either, because I do like the game honestly, but um, I feel like I feel like this is only really worth it maybe at the $30 mark. Uh, Even then, I feel like that's still too high. Maybe even at the $20 mark as well.
Mm,
Uh,
interesting.
yeah, but uh, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's definitely going to be DLC characters coming for this game too. I mean, like in the art gallery, I see art of other classes that don't have a spot in the roster yet, which I feel like some of them have to be coming out eventually. And I mean, like, for goodness sakes, the male gunner got three of their variations in this game, so there's
Hmm.
gotta be more coming at least. But yeah, I would say as far as my recommendation goes, I would say yes, but only if there's a sale right now. Um, at or right now at some point. Um, I've already seen some mods for it already. I saw
Hmm.
Goku. I saw Ryu from Street Fighter V making an appearance. I saw
Nice.
Soul Bad Guy walking around, and it's pretty wild. It does seem to be a bit more of a drag and drop kind of title. Like Arc System Works basically just helped with like some of the background stuff, and then aiding pretty much just took over and built the game from there. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I can say, but game's still fun. I still like it. Strive probably will be taking a break for me because I'll be playing this for a while now.
Good deal.
Yeah, and let me just make sure. Was there anything else at all? Anything else at all? Anything? I don't think so. Nothing's coming up at the top of my head, but I can't say. Uh, no, I think that's it. Okay, so now we got to get to the news,
News
cause there was a news, Nintendo news.
was a kind of news.
Yeah, third party though, so no news on Breath of the Wild 2, much to Nintendo Twitter's chagrin. Which I mean, okay, whatever. I'm pretty sure Aonuma has said several times it'll come. We'll let you know once we're sure, but
Right.
whatever. Um, there was some more promotion for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Uh,
Right. We get it.
yeah,
Sunrise is coming
yeah,
out.
coming out tomorrow. So like,
Thank you.
or tomorrow at the time of this recording, anyway. But yeah,
And you got lots of DLC.
yeah.
Cool.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there have been a lot of pretty hot games coming out, so I think Capcom is just stepping it up right now. Just be like, hey, don't forget us. Look, it's us. Hey, Monster Hunter. Hey, don't forget we have
Yeah.
game.
uh, I guess
Yeah,
I can't give them too much quarter. Well, they had this is like the third showcase though.
yeah,
They even had it on their own.
yeah. They had a separate showcase, and it still just wasn't enough. It was just like, no, no, appeal more, say more. But yeah, I've been, my friend was talking to me about it and just going like, dude, so many updates and patches to all the weapons and everything. It's gonna be great. So I'm probably gonna be seeing him on Monster Hunter a lot for a while.
Mm.
Poor Path of Exile is not gonna stand a chance for him. Uh, also, uh, kind of a surprise, but I guess they got it working somehow. Nier Automata, the End of Yorha edition, announced for Switch. Uh, will include all the DLC, including some original costumes. I saw 2B wearing a kitsune mask. Um, and not anything quite as scandalous as a Chinese outfit from Near Gestalt. That's about it. I don't know. I played and completed the game. I'm pretty good, honestly, for a while on Nier Automata.
Yeah, I've still never played it though. Like, and based on what you sent the other day, it doesn't look like the Switch is the best platform to get it on.
I mean, like, okay, so if the Switch is your only way to get it, then I suppose get it. I can't stop you. That being said, it's not going to be the best experience. Even PC is not even the best experience, actually. You're probably better off getting it on the Xbox One or
Oh,
PS4. Because the PC version, unfortunately, has like some performance hiccups, actually. So yeah, like if you have a lot of options, then I guess getting the PS4 version is probably your best shot. I don't know if it's coming out for the PS5 or Series X at some point. I think it is.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah, this is the end of your. Actually, you know what? Let me see. Uh, yeah. Okay. So right now, end of Yorha edition is only confirmed for the Switch right now. Um, uh, yeah, pretty much. Um, yeah, that's it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you want, if you want a big old beautiful robot booty on your screen, I guess pick it up. If you haven't done it yet, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't care. 2B's mid. I like A2. So anyway, um, moving on quickly. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Uh, just found out. It's actually by the same devs as Sayonara Wild Hearts. So cool.
oh, okay,
Yeah. Uh,
okay.
this one
And
I'm
I
kind
just
of.
beat that game the other day.
Oh, okay. Cool. What'd you think of it?
Uh, I played on the phone, so I'm kind of mixed about it.
Mm,
Um, uh, it was okay overall.
okay.
I did like a lot of the things they went for. I thought that was really cool. Like
Mm,
the level on the dude's VR headset, I was like, okay, this is really cool.
yeah. I would say like of all the things that Sarno Hearts knocks out of the park, it's is presentation. Uh, it gets a little crazy at times with some of those levels, but at the same time, I'm also like, I don't care. I love the confidence it has in its stages. It's so much fun to play.
Did have
Um,
confidence, didn't it?
yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Like given the fact that
Yeah.
it's a rhythm game and it's just like, now you know what? Free control. Don't bother about the beat. Just vibe and get all the points as you can if you
Yeah,
can.
and that was like I think the best part, but
Mhm.
it was the rating system at the end that always made me angry. That's the thing was the biggest point.
Yeah.
Was
What
like I'd play the game one day there to be like bronze. I'm like, man,
bronze?
screw you.
Yeah, when Queen Latifah rates you and you're just like, why you gotta do me like that?
I know. I was like, I
Like
tried really
when you
hard.
hear when you hear that sweet lady's voice just go bronze rank and you just go, I can't stand for this. And you go
Yeah,
again.
right. And it's like,
Yeah.
man, that level was so cool. No
Yeah.
rank. Whatever. I'm not crying.
You're crying.
Yeah.
I mean, in that regard though, I guess it works, right? Because it makes you play the game again, right? So
I didn't.
yeah. That okay,
There were a
fair
lot
enough.
of levels. There were a lot of levels. So,
Yeah, I do need to go back at that at some point because there's a whole B sides that I need to play. So
oh wow.
yeah, yeah, there's more levels actually. So
Ooh, yeah, that's a
uh,
bit too much for me.
yeah. Anyway, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, moving towards the future. Uh, no longer looking back at the past. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes looks like a puzzle game of sorts. Um, I'm kind of getting some Killer 7 type of vibes with it. Some neo noir style with it. Some fanciness. Look at the trailer real quick. A Maze of Deceptions. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it yeah, like it looks like a very similar style from Sarna Wild Hearts, but in a completely different way. Looks cool. 2023 though, quite a long way. Um well, I say long way, but it's looking at my calendar, it's not that far off actually.
Not
So,
that far off.
yeah. But yeah, cool. I'm going to keep an eye out on it. So,
Same.
uh Super Bomberman R2 got announced.
With
Um
new tower mode.
oh yeah, what is the term
Peggy
mode?
7.
Whoop.
I think it's you and 15 others battle while 14 try to take down the tower and one tries to keep the tower from falling.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at this right now. Oh, okay. So it looks like oh, okay. So it's tower defense, kind of. Or wait, no. What is it again? What am I thinking of again? Capture the flag, but it's not capture the flag. So yeah, tower is right. Sorry. Sorry. I'm getting my game modes mixed up now. But yeah, that's cool. I mean like uh I'm usually a fan of Bomberman, but I don't really play it all that often. Um anyway, uh and Capcom once again announcing another collection, another Mega Man collection, but for the Battle Network series, actually. Unfortunately, no network transmission in this collection, which uh, I don't know if people are upset about that. I don't really care. From what I remember of network transmission, I didn't really like it that much. So, but
Mhm.
that's just me. Um, actually, what did it even look like? I'm trying to remember now. Oh no, did you play any of the Battle Network games at all?
I did not.
Okay, so basically, like it's an RPG pretty much. But you move on a grid, and huh, you know what? I guess in a way, it's kind of a prototype of the card-based RPG format. Oh no, wait, no. What am I talking about?
Interesting.
What am I talking about? There's Chain of Memories. Never mind. Okay. Uh, it's a different version of the card-based RPG format. Um, anyway, um, yeah, I remember playing those games. The battles were pretty fun, but everything in between was kind of it was just boring. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I didn't really like walking around and stuff and try to get the story going. I was more of a fan of the gameplay, really. Um, I never did actually figure out program advances though. Program advances were like a hidden feature of the game where it was just like certain where you collect chips and they do like certain attacks or they give you buffs and stuff like that. And certain collections would basically activate, which allowed them to do more damage or give you access to like a new attack that hit even stronger. It was almost like a super.
Mm.
Um, yeah, like I would say the Battle Network games definitely leaned in a little bit more in terms of like uh computer programming type of stuff, where it was like there was some garbled messages and you had to actually know uh like a little bit of how coding worked to really understand what was going on with that. There there may have been like a binary puzzle at some point. I don't remember. It's
Mm-hmm.
been too long, but yeah, uh, pretty cool. Kind of crazy that like every pretty much every game from that franchise is coming on it, minus the DS and 3DS Star Force games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool stuff. Uh, and back at it again. Pac-Man World repack.
Oh
Uh,
man, I'm actually excited about that.
so okay, is this so this is a remake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I'm getting from this?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I just missed that subtitle when this trailer played where it said full remake of Pac-Man World. Uh, pretty cool. Um, I don't know. You said you're excited about this?
I am because
Okay.
I saw some YouTubers play it, and it's just another. Uh, it's just another platformer, but I love platformers
Hmm.
and I love Pac-Man. And plus the updated visuals look great. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to to get it. My goal is to own every platformer ever,
Every platformer ever?
every except indie, because
Oh.
there's too many.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like even I don't know. I feel like even mainstream that's still quite a lot, but I don't know.
It is.
I see a racing game in here. Is that like is that like something on the side or is that going to be part of the adventure?
I
I don't know.
believe it's just part of the adventure.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It it's such a weird thing to me seeing a Pac-Man game like this like coming out today. So,
Yeah.
um
Right?
but yeah. But I mean, it's cool. Uh Bandai Namco using the Namco part for once. Uh but moving on. We got Blanc or Blank. Hmm.
I think the
Is it a French studio that's in charge of this?
Le Blanc.
Well, I see. Well, this trailer is from Nintendo UK, but anyway, yeah, very interesting art
Uh,
style. Uh,
Gearbox Publishing and Casus Ludi.
case. Oh, Ludi. It must be French or French Canadian or just Canadian. I don't know. Why am I why am I trying to profile? Whatever. um,
Yeah, Nantes, France.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you butchered that, but I don't know French. What do I know?
Yeah. But hey,
Yeah,
Gearbox Publishing.
yeah, that's true, huh? Uh, huh. Interesting. Have they are they publishing anything else lately? I don't know. I'm not really sure what to make of the gameplay. It just kind of comes off as atmospheric platformer to me. Um, which I'm not a super big fan of, but I know it appeals to a lot of people, especially with indie games. So
I'm for it.
okay.
It's gonna be a fun time with me and my wife. I always love those games. Or I look at those games and I go, cool. I know that's gonna be a fun time with me and Courtney. So bring it on.
Okay. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, okay. And we finally get an update about Return to Monkey Island. Um, coming later this year. Uh, which was a lot sooner than I expected, actually. So, um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like especially with the Monkey Island games, it's always been hard for me to kind of get invested just because like I feel like Monkey Island has just been in that unfortunate situation where it just gets tossed around between publishers. Um,
Mm,
because like I remember it used to like it was under LucasArts, and
yeah.
then that stopped being a thing, and then it moved over to Telltale for a while,
Hmm.
and then that stopped being a thing, and now it's on Devolver Digital. Like, I don't know. I think it's cool. It's still going around, but like for me personally, I guess it's interesting. Just like as like from a casual perspective, in my case, it's hard to get invested when I see it going through different art style changes for like the last three iterations of it. Um, and just feeling like, is this a continuation or is this a sequel of sorts or is this a remake? And it just feels very confusing, right? So
True. It feels to me to be a continuation, but who knows?
yeah, but yeah, cool. I know are there's still a bit of an audience for it. Oh shoot, I have no, it's not picking up on the mic. Good. There's some annoying gardeners outside my window. Uh,
French gardeners.
no. Um, that'd be kind of weird. Just all of a sudden hearing. Actually, wait, is that cuss? I better not say it just to make sure. Uh,
It's pronounced Nantes.
you cultureless swine! I stick my nose at you anyway.
Yes.
I fart in your general direction. Appropriate segue for what is also a fart in my general direction. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Blah.
Uh, I mean, hey, you know, it's making them money, so they're gonna keep doing it.
They could have talked about, I don't know, Assassin's Creed Infinite, but instead they want to make another Mario Rabbids game.
Well, I mean, it is popular, right? Like the last two games did do well, didn't they?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they did. That's why they're still doing it. Uh,
Yeah, the common sense would tell me that. Okay, there's a third game. Other
hmm.
two games are doing good.
But yeah. Oh no, wait. Or is this a sequel to that other Mario Rabbids game? I don't know. I don't care. Whatever.
Me neither.
Let's move on. Little Noah's Scion of Paradise.
I also want to point out that I love that all the spotlights on the Nintendo's like website for their showcase we've crapped on, and all the other shows we've like spent more if not thrice the amount of time talking about. I love it.
Yeah. Wait, what were the other ones? Oh,
The
Mouse.
sunrise was a spotlight, and rabbits was a spotlight, and I don't know the other one. I can't remember.
The Nier Automata, or I don't know.
The three. It
Anyway.
was only three,
Yeah.
and it was the three Persona games. But we'll get to that.
Oh. Okay.
But you
Yeah.
also crapped on that before the recording.
Well, I crap on it because I'm sick of Persona fans, but
Oh,
uh anyway, um
or Shin Megami Tensei fan.
don't remind me. Little Noah's Scion of Paradise. Um It's a developed by the same devs, Side Games, who have made Dragalia Lost for Nintendo. Um, and the art style, I think I think it's the same artist as oh my goodness, why am I blanking on the name?
Mm.
Bravely Default. That's the one. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like the same art as that. So looks
Oh,
pretty
you're
cool.
right.
Yeah. It's described as a casual roguelike of sorts, but looking at the combat, nothing about this screams casual to me. It looks pretty wild actually with some of those boss fights.
I agree.
Yeah. I did not realize it came out the day of announcement though. So, huh.
Yeah, Joe picked it up yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Reasonable price too,
$15. That's not too bad. No
for a
keyboard.
Nintendo game. Yeah,
Yeah. No keyboard or and mouse support on the Steam version though, which might be unfortunate. Um,
interesting.
yeah, but yeah, seems very cool. Might pick that up at some point.
Yeah, I think I might wait for a
Uh,
sale or something.
yeah, and then next, Railgrade. It's a train sim.
Which I'll use the words of Courtney. It looks fun to look at, not fun to touch.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, hear me out though. Um, if this is like, what is it? Like, you know how in Roller Coaster Simulator you can switch to a first person view as if you're
Hmm.
like a park attendee?
Yeah.
If you could do the same on this, I think I would actually be low key into it.
Okay.
Here's the thing though, like I don't want to do any of the building. I would just have someone make a map for me, and then I would just sit there and take in the view myself. That's all I would do. The
Okay.
the only thing
Okay.
that would make this better is if I could play it in VR. That's pretty much it. Um,
Okay. I can see that.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a sucker for trains, honestly. Having ridden trains before, I feel like uh trains is like one of those very it's it's a very specific type of travel that's like it's like riding an airplane, but you get to see that view on the ground instead.
Hmm.
Um, and it's very different. Um, I don't know. That might be my boomer side coming out about that, but anyway,
I've always wanted to ride in the train.
yeah, it's fun. It's it's not nearly as expensive as like a plane ticket, but it's definitely longer.
Oh, I'm sure.
In some cases, it might even be longer than a car ride, even. But you're paying for the convenience, not for the urgency.
True.
Um, but yeah. Next we got RPG Time: The Legend of Right. Uh, huh. I did not see this. Published by Aniplex, actually. Um,
The anime studio?
of sorts. I do know Aniplex. They used to be the publisher for Fate Grand Order. They are not anymore, which is pretty interesting. But then again, I think Type Moon has been wanting to get away from Aniplex for a while, so it's not necessarily so it's not really like their fault. It's just I think Aniplex or sorry, Type Moon just wanted to be in charge of their own IPs.
Oh,
Oh, they also helped publish Kimetsu no Yaiba. What am I? The
Hinokami Chronicles.
yeah, the Demon Slayer fighting game is what I'm trying to say.
Nice.
Sorry, but yeah, I like the presentation. It's kind of I don't think it's gonna beat the Plucky Squire in terms of just flexing on how do I say this like presentation.
Yeah, there you go.
I do like the different art. I do like the different kind of like craft styles that's going for in this one though. Um,
Yeah,
that makes me still kind of want to try it out though.
I think I'll just definitely still try it out.
Hmm.
It'll be something to like play after I get that Plucky Squire dopamine out of the way, and I'm like, oh, I want some more, and then I'll look for RPG time, and then I'll wait until it's on sale.
Yeah.
Is $30 seems a bit much.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think about the price. Has there been a price yet announced for Plucky Squire? That might be
Mm.
another contention too.
Oh, Plucky.
The Plucky Squire, no price yet on Steam.
Mm-mm.
No, nothing yet. Okay. So no, we'll see.
You need to clean up your room before that game comes out. Still a mess.
Oh, you're referring to the joke we made
Sam's
in that
room.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know, you should
Can't,
go look at it.
I can't believe they did that to me. How could they?
It's really rude,
I give
but
Devolver Digital all the love, and they blast on me like that.
it's really rude. I guess at the same time, maybe flattering in their own way because it is Devolver Digital.
I suppose. Yeah. Like how they continue to roast Dave Lang by pretending he's dead when he's in fact alive.
Yeah,
It got so bad when they first did that. It got so bad to a point where Dave Lang actually had to go on Twitter and say, "I'm actually not dead. It's just a joke that they do. Please calm down, everybody."
that's really funny.
Yeah, that just goes to show like how powerful social media actually is. That people won't
Agreed.
research it and just take anything at their word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, and speaking of social media having
Big.
a negative impact, uh, Sonic Frontiers. Um,
Woo! Here's your Breath of the Wild 2.
I mean, I kind of want to be more positive about it, but
Oh, I do too. I'm
yeah,
sorry. And you know what? I'm also I need to apologize because that's not me. At least that's what I'm trying really hard these days not to be, is to go for the low hanging fruit and to crap on everything first just to get a 15 seconds of laughs. Um
what are you talking about? We're content creators. That's what we're supposed to do.
we are.
Yeah, we're literally reacting right now. That's reactions are low hanging fruit.
Ooh. Okay, baby steps. Uh so
It's fine.
Sonic Frontiers, an open world Sonic game that looks like it has the combat of Sonic 06.
That that's not a flattering comparison.
I'm trying, Sam.
I would say, oh, so it's kind of like Sonic Unleashed.
So it's like Sonic Force.
It's kind of like Breath of the Wild, sort of. Yeah.
It looks like too. it's got a bit of like in the air puzzle features that the new Mario side game that came with 3D World, Bowser's Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a lot of uh, a lot of that was a bunch of islands connected together. You could go there and play that mini puzzle, find the shine sprite or the cat sprite there, and then you could go run off to the next part. And this looks very very similar, sort of like Twin Sanity too, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and and from the look of things, it looks good, but that's been everyone's reaction before when a new Sonic game comes out.
Yeah. It
And
doesn't really help
uh,
when IGN posted their gameplay premiere of it, that the person who seemed to be playing the game didn't really seem to understand what they were doing. So
oh, I have to watch this now.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really watched it, but I mean, considering it's another IGN journalist can't understand video games debauch presentation, I
Is
it's like
is IGN had the same problem with Cuphead, right?
yes,
Okay.
that was another problem. There is also the story I always love to bring up is IGN's rating of God Hand, um, rating it a 3 out of 10.
God Hand was so funny.
Yeah,
Is so funny.
it's it's definitely showing its age in the writing, but I would say it still handles it very well, as in it's very unapologetic. Like it is taking the piss quite a bit, but it's taking the piss on everybody. It's not just certain people.
Hmm.
Okay, look, like if we're really gonna be like these things shouldn't be joked about, it literally turns its scantily clad dominatrix female villain, and presents her as a magical girl in the boss fight you have with her. I don't know how much sillier you can get with that. Oh, wait, hang on. She has a move where if she hits you with her magical girl spell, you turn into a poison chihuahua and cannot attack. So I think it's very clowny. I think I think it's not appropriate, but I think it's fine. Uh,
Yeah, I think there are certain comedies that get a pass because they're able to just make fun of everybody.
yeah.
Uh, like my favorite example of all of it is Gintama. It is the funniest anime in my opinion.
I would say you are correct. I see you're a man of culture as well.
Ah, been waiting for someone to tell me that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Unfortunately, uh, it's problematic where a lot of the humor is pretty much region centric. Uh,
See, you call that a problem. I call that a learning lesson for the day.
that's true. Um, Although it gets a bit problematic when it starts talking about current events, and I'm just like,
Current
what?
events and just one reference after the other where you can't keep up with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
but yeah. Anyway, Sonic
Anyway,
Frontiers. Um, let
what we're
let's
talking about?
let's keep an open mind about it. Let's be more positive.
Yeah, I mean, I want the story to at least be as grand looking as the game.
Yeah. Uh, I just hope.
So,
I mean, honestly, I'm more of a
oh,
fan
interesting.
of having fun stages to just speed through. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as we can get that and it's just fun to play, then that's all I really want,
Yes.
at least. That being said, it's been getting pretty rough out there in terms of the modern Sonic titles.
Mm-hmm.
Considering the last one was Sonic Forces, and the less we say about that, now the better. But moving on. Um, Disney's new game, Disney Dreamlight Valley. Uh, Basically Disney The Sims is what I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting from this.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd have something else to say, but because I
I
have
wish I
nothing.
did.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like uh, Marvel's Avengers Academy, which was for the mobiles, and that game did really well, and then just suddenly got canceled, much like a lot of Marvel games did during that time period. So I'm hoping because hopefully, if with it was Disney's moniker behind it, it'll stay around, or at least die of an old age and no use instead of having to be abruptly canceled while everyone's having fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about this. I'm sure
Yeah.
you Disney fans will enjoy this. It looks very pretty.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah.
I like when Emil the rat smells the food you're trying to cook. The jazz features start to sparkle. That's about it.
Buzz Lightyear's in it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Next.
Uh, yeah. I look like that. It's out of everything. This is probably the most nothing I have to say about an announcement. I'm sorry. I just I don't know. I guess I have a cold heart, and I have no love for Disney anymore or something. I don't know.
It's fair. I mean, I mean, they're not trying to break the mold in video gaming. They're just trying to present their princesses and princes and heroes in another format
Yeah.
again.
Stop complaining. Consume products. Wait for next product. Consume again.
Yeah, and if you tried to complain to them, they say, "But Nintendo's doing it."
Anyway,
Yeah,
Live Alive. You can play the first 3 chapters. Oh, okay, cool. All right, and coming out next month. Yep, and we pretty much already talked about that. So,
we did.
wait a minute. No, we didn't. That was before
Oh,
recording, huh?
we talked about pre-recording.
Yeah.
Well, well, okay. To rehash what I think I remembered saying is, uh, I learned about the game through the YouTube channel Region Locked, and the game looked amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and the interconnectivity of the stories, uh, to me, was a great amount of storytelling. And it was the first time I was like, "Oh, locked in Japan. Oh, that's sad. That makes me sad."
Yeah.
And then this announcement made me really happy. So I got to play. I played the demo last night. I played 20 minutes of the ninja ability. Not sure if they've like taken away parts of the gameplay and added a brand new type of gameplay to it, which is would still be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
A little sad, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But the graphics are amazing. The HD 2D is simply just something I'm glad that like took off with Octopath Traveler and is here to stay, and is going to maybe uh, bring a lot more old SNES games or some new games into this light, and it's going to be amazing. So, Sam, your thoughts?
You know what? I'm terribly sorry we did talk about this because you talked about it during your week. I apologize.
How long have we been here?
Uh, let me see. By the video count, we've been going for almost 2 hours. So let's wrap this up. Man, did I? Am I sure I drank coffee? I thought I did, but I guess it was decaf or something.
I need some coffee.
Anyway, um, moving on after experiencing a time loop in the Matrix. Uh, Doraemon Story of Seasons is announced. Um, this is pretty cool actually because I think I think it's like one of the few games that we're getting from that's like really a Japanese specific game, and it's another Story of Seasons game, uh, which I believe is one of the branch offs from Harvest Moon. Um, oh yes, because Harvest Moon um, branched branched off into its own thing, and Story of Seasons is its own thing now. So yeah, I keep getting those two confused, and it's really confusing because I feel like Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons, and I believe Rune Factory all bud from the same studio. So it's
Wow.
really hard to keep these together now. Uh,
I'm I'm glad you I'm amazed you can even keep up with it.
I can't. I literally can't because it's literally from the same team, and I keep forgetting. Like, wait, is Harvest Moon a thing, or is Story of Seasons a thing? And I don't know anymore. I can't. I
I'm pretty sure Harvest Moon is old, and they
uh
maybe did something recently, but like old recently.
yeah. No, that's the problem because I believe Harvest Moon right now, or wait, Harvest, no, I'm gonna hang on. Hang on a second.
So apparently, when you go to the Nintendo fandom page, you go to Harvest Moon series. The picture says Story of Seasons.
Yes, because I do believe because there is a branching off point, and it's something to do with how the transition was handled. Because before because Natsume was handling Harvest Moon, but then Marvelous decided um to stop licensing the name to Natsume. Um,
Hmm.
so now I believe a different team handles the Story of Seasons franchise, while Natsume actually handles Harvest Moon now. Um, but I don't know what's happening with Harvest Moon right now. I'm pretty sure they're still making games. Yeah, Harvest Moon One World came out last year. So yeah, it's still going. They just don't have it right now. So yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Um yeah. So Doraemon, yes.
Yeah.
Um
Is this
old.
his first localized appearance?
I don't think so. As far as I think, I mean, as far as video games go, maybe, but I don't know. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. It is, if it is, if it isn't, it's one of the most rarest ones because I don't think I've seen any Doraemon game that's come out aside from this. Or no, wait, was the first one? Because this is actually the sequel. Um, and there was another one before it. Yeah, the one before
Mhm.
it came out here too. So okay, okay, yeah, yeah, no, it's good. Um, yeah, so I guess the first one did good enough that they decided to just keep localizing it, which is cool. Um, I think it's unfortunate though because there was another game from another old Japanese franchise that came out for Switch, but I think it's Japan only still. And that game looks uh that other game looks really cool, but I'm just blanking on the name right now. It's by Crayon Shinchan, and it's like it's like another life sim but in a different way. Uh what's it called again? Oh, okay. A bit of news that I didn't find. As of yesterday, thank you, Luke Plunkett. Crayon Shinchan Orato Hakase no Yatsu Yasumi, or Crayon Shinchan My Summer Vacation with the Professor, will be coming out uh, in English for PS4 and Switch.
Ooh.
Yeah, cool. And I know for a fact, I'm pretty sure that the Summer Vacation series hasn't there haven't been a lot of games for that in English, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
I think, is this the only one? I think it is. Yeah, yeah, I think this is all. This is not only the first Crayon Shinchan game getting released in English. I think it's also the first My Summer Vacation uh game coming over in English officially.
Oh.
Wait, I want to make sure. Yeah, no, this is the first one actually. That's crazy. Yeah, because the last one was in 2009 for the PlayStation Portable, and that never came out of Japan. So yeah, wow. All right. I guess we can look forward to that one coming out soon too. Okay. Wasn't
Sweet.
wasn't in this direct, but there you go, I guess. Uh so yeah, look forward to Doraemon Story of Seasons and look forward to Shinchan My Summer Vacation.
Woohoo.
Next, we should probably try to wrap this up. We've been going on for so long. We got on many tangents today. That's kind of crazy. Uh,
That's what happens when this guy gets to go on vacation.
that's
I'm
true.
free.
Uh, but okay. Minecraft Legends, coming out in 2023.
Pretty
Uh,
good.
yeah, I didn't really know what to make of it, and oh no.
Yeah, have you ever seen like another kind of strategy game like it?
Like this? I mean,
Well, I mean, it looks like you run around and you press a button, and you pick up, people around you, and then they follow you, and then I guess you just throw them at whatever you wanted to.
you mean like Pikmin?
Uh, I guess I never played Pikmin.
Oh, okay. Maybe you should fix that before people call you out for being uncultured. I don't know. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't really get a sense of what the gameplay is actually supposed to be like from this trailer. I think this is the same trailer uh from Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest as well. Um yeah, I don't know. Uh Seems all right. I don't know. I'm just a simple man. I just want an open sandbox with my blocks. Uh
Fair enough.
just let me stack. That's pretty much it.
Fair enough.
Or blow stuff up
Speaking
with TNT.
Speaking of which, I know this is probably going to be one more tangent, but I just wanted to insert them there. There were two games I found that were have not been announced in any showcase yet.
Hmm.
One is another Lord of the Rings game, but it is a crafting survival game. It's called Return to Moria, and it is the first game that is set in
Oh
the
yeah.
Fourth Age.
Yeah. I've been meaning to look that up actually. Um because I don't think
Uh,
it really showed up anywhere.
no, like, and I only found it because it was on the front page of Epic Games on a Thursday. I was coming in to grab the free games.
Huh. Okay.
But it looks great, and I'm excited to actually play a crafting survival game and enjoy it.
Mm.
And in the realm of that, there's one more, an open world survival game, uh, developed by the RuneScape developers, Jagex. So they are branching out from their MMORPG and they're making an open world survival game that is going to be made in the Unreal Engine 5 based in their RuneScape world
Mm.
and possibly looking to come to consoles as well as PC.
Oh, okay. Is there a title for it yet? Or
No. And in fact, I believe it was just mentioned, so there's no official statement yet.
oh,
But
okay.
they say that there's one coming this year, so
Got it.
I'll be looking out for that so we can share the love for that on this show too.
Okay.
Anyway, there's my
Cool.
inserts. I'm good.
Yeah. No. I mean like I completely forgot about Return to Moria, so thank you for bringing that up. Uh and I didn't even hear about the RuneScape thing. I can only imagine it's just because like RuneScape uh well still popular, not quite in the social spectrum as it used to be for video games. So,
For sure.
yeah.
You are correct.
Next we got Dragon Quest Treasures.
Heck
Uh,
yeah.
didn't really get much from the gameplay, but from the premise, you'll be playing a pair of treasure hunters searching for loot, and that's pretty much it. Uh, I guess this, I guess this might be more. It might be like their version of a survival game too, maybe. But I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe it'll be in the same vein as Dragon Quest Builders in a way too, but uh, who's to say? Next we've got Portal Companion Collection. I believe this was already announced quite a ways away. Uh, oh, so it was just announcing the launch then. Okay. Yeah, I mean, sure, but I've already played those two, so I'm pretty much done. Um, And then finally, or wait, no, hang on. Sorry. Uh, before the final thing, I guess, we've got Harvestella. Cause I guess Square Enix is just like, hey, you know what? We've never done a farming simulator. How about we take a crack at that Bokujo no Monogatari
We can do it too.
with our uh very cultured country accent. Um, but yeah. Anyway, my bad accent aside. Um, yeah. I mean, oh my goodness, this. Okay, to be honest, this actually looks a lot more like Rune Factory than Harvest Moon. Um, yeah, yeah, this is pretty close to Harvest Moon, actually. Oh my good, or Harvest Moon, Rune Factory. Oh my, see what I mean? It's
I don't because my response is it all looks the same to me.
yeah, uh,
All them farming sims all look the same.
yeah, but yeah, uh, huh, okay. So it looks like there's like, um, there might be more events going on like throughout the main story, I suppose, that will keep it slightly more epic than maybe Rune Factory or Harvest Moon.
Hmm.
I see some god beings in there. Okay. There's a woman wrapped in chains. Yeah, that's okay. All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's not
All
doing anything
right.
for me.
Yeah. Uh yeah, I don't know. I think it is Square Enix's first time doing a game like this, so maybe they're just like, well, it might be too boring, so let's just try something else. But comes out later in November, so.
Cool.
And of course, finally, I guess we'll talk about it. Persona 5 Royale finally coming to Switch. Are you happy, everybody? Can we finally shut up about this? Is the joke over yet? Can
Oh,
can we lower the suicide watch for people clamoring for Persona 5 on Switch?
maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, following the announcement of the three Persona games coming to PC and Xbox, turns out it was for everything. And I guess it's kind of a licensing thing, right? Where it's just like, well, we don't want to spoil the surprise for Nintendo because Nintendo likes to do their own thing and Xbox likes to do their own thing. So we got to split up the announcements. So I guess it was, yeah, it looking back on now, it kind of seems more obvious that it's just like, oh, so it's coming to everything now then. Definitely makes a lot more sense why they chose the Persona 3 portable version instead of
Do
FES there too.
tell, because actually Courtney is very curious about why portable and not the other version.
Well, I mean, I have to imagine, in terms of content, Persona 3 portable is the one that has the most content, even though it may not necessarily look the most up to date in comparison to FES.
Hmm.
I think it's kind of unfortunate though, just because like you do you do lose out on a little bit of the nuance um of the story, not seeing it performed in those cutscenes and being able to explore the environments yourself, because you could do that in Persona 3 as well. um Although it's kind of a fixed perspective, like Persona 4 Golden. But
Hmm.
I guess it's like, because like these are just ports, right? They're not like remakes or anything like that, so I guess
Yeah.
it's the most they could do. um, while going within budget. Um,
Fair, fair.
yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because like there's no there's no good or rather there's no best version of Persona 3 yet. Um, it is kind of one of those things where it's like I feel like at this point there should be another remastering of sorts for Persona 3 specifically. Um, just because like the content in ways is sort of split up now. But then again, like I know for Persona 3 FES, the side campaign, which takes place after the story, the answer was not received as well.
Hmm.
So I guess it's like in terms of the most positive response, I guess going with portable made the most sense. Uh, in all consideration, yeah, I mean, yeah, content wise, it makes the most sense. So,
That's cool. I think that's exactly what I told her, and
mhm,
I didn't know anything. I know way less about the industry than you do, but I was like, you got to imagine at the end of the day, it's for gamers. It's not for readers. It's not for, people who like to enjoy a book. It's for people who like to play. So if they had to go with a version, they want to go with a version that makes people play the game longer.
mhm.
And she's like, it's stupid.
I mean, I agree, but
I
like,
mean, yeah, sure.
but but yeah, it makes the most sense because like in Persona 3 Portable, you get to choose between the guy or the girl, and it's one of the few where it's like choosing between genders in a JRPG for that matter
That's huge
is
right now.
pretty drastic actually because the male MC and the female MC have very different voices in each of their stories. So like the male MC is kind of a moody, speaks quietly kind of type,
Hmm.
and suffers from apathy. And meanwhile, the meanwhile the female MC is kind of just bonkers. I mean, she's really peppy and positive, but then she's also just like, hey, or sorry, I'm speaking verbatim from what I've heard of one of the social links with the female MC.
Hmm.
But with one of the female students you talk to, who's like um who I guess is like going through a rough patch and needs some money, she goes like, you could sell like pictures of yourself online and make money that way. And it's just like that is a thing. That's true, but
But
what the heck?
that came from you.
Yeah, but it does kind of continue the narrative that the MCs are just kind of unhinged a little bit. So it fits, I suppose. Um, just not what I was expecting when I heard, oh, you get to pick a female MC. I wonder if she speaks any differently. Turns out quite a bit. So yeah, it's still cool though. It's probably one of the craziest additions Atlas ever made. Um, for a Persona game, and it's probably why every Persona game after, like people have clamored, will there be a female campaign? And the answer is always no, because
Ah,
because think about it. They created an entirely new script for a different viewpoint of a character. Like that's not going to happen again. It's so much work. It took them so much work to do that for bringing Persona 3 to the PlayStation Portable that it's just like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen again. That was just the
mm,
thing that they decided to do just because, and it was something special for Persona 3 specifically.
mm-hmm.
I think it was like an anniversary thing, if I remember correctly, too, because I believe around at the same time Persona 1 Portable also came out. in celebration of that anniversary. So yeah, that's not going to happen again. If it does, it's going to take a long time for them to do something like that. But yeah,
True. Big budget.
yeah, no, it's no, it no. I'm sorry, but yeah. But anyway, that'll wrap it up, and yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us. So, uh, water. Uh, okay. So after that, thanks for dropping by. Again, as always, do, do all the things, hit all the buttons, like, subscribe, bell, comments, questions on my Twitter. Skim lives. We'll do a Q&A eventually, hopefully. You gotta talk to us, people. So anyway, we'll see you later.